Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the TheSoundTV. Today's video is a special one. A special video because of you. And you may be asking, why me? Well, because of you and your tremendous support, KZ Audio reached out and said, hey, we've watched your videos, we like your reviews, we've seen your interactive community. Would you like to do a collab? And I said, absolutely. So because of that, we're here, and I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because I would not be where I'm at if it weren't for you. All right, so a round of applause for that. Now, before we get to the review, I want to be very transparent. I want to be very clear with you. Just like all the previous reviews that I've done on this channel with the products that I've bought with my own money, and I've been honest with you, I'm going to do the same thing with any collab or any product that gets sent my way. All right, that's a deal between you and me, and that's just morally and ethically the type of person that I am. So no matter who it is, big, small, we're going to treat it all the same professionally, and we're going to give our honest take. All right, my opinion, my experiences with the product, and that's how we'll always conduct business here. All right, now that we got that out the way, let's get to it. The KZ Gale is marketed as a gaming IEM. I think KZ Audio is definitely targeting gamers in a really good way with these IEMs, and I think it's a good budget options for those seeking IEMs for gaming specifically. Now, there's a lot of gamers out there who are still using headphones or headsets, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I would say, in my personal opinion, that there are some advantages to having an IEM, such as comfort, ease of use, and really good audio quality. And I think the KZ Gale is a great entry point into gaming IEMs. First impressions. So the KZ Gale comes in this USB-C configuration, all right, with an inline mic, or if you don't want a mic, you don't have to get this version, but you got DSP DAC amp combination, ladies and gentlemen, and you have 4 different configurations of EQ that you can go through, and we're going to go through those specifically. Also wanted to add on that I had to get this extension. You might be asking, like, what is this? Well, unfortunately, the length of this cable does not reach my motherboard with my PC setup and my desk setup. That might not be of concern to you, but because for me, in order to listen and actually go through everything, I had to get this extension. So that's just a small little caveat. Might not apply to you. If it doesn't, ignore it. But for the EQ configurations, ladies and gentlemen, we have a music mode, bass boost mode, gaming mode, and an immersive gaming mode. And I'm going to break those down for you as we get later into the review. But I just wanted to kind of let you know, hey, this is what we're working with. Priced at $27 US. I think with everything that is coming, is decently priced. I know that personally right now, from what I have seen, the prices may shift up and down. Unfortunately, we know how the climate is right now with the economy, but that's the number that we're looking at the moment. Now let's talk about the sound signature. When I listen to this IEM, what sticks out to me is a slight V shape. And what a V shape kind of represents is an emphasis on bass, little recessed mid, and a little emphasis on the treble, right? So when I listen to these IEMs, that's kind of what I'm getting. And I will say that that audio, that sound signature changes as you change the EQ on these IEMs, which is very normal, right? Depending on what setting you have, you may get a little bit of this, a little bit of that, less of this, that. So that's just something to be aware of. Now let's talk about that bass, all right? The bass in the KZ Gale, in my opinion, is more so of a mid bass. While it's there, there's a little bit of that thump. There's nothing to write home about. So if you're someone who likes bassier IEMs, these might not necessarily scratch that itch for you, but for gaming purposes, I think this is really well done. And the reason I say that is because it doesn't cut into the other regions, because sometimes poorly executed bass and some IEMs can really cut in to the mids, the treble, and kind of take away from the responsibilities of those regions, which is something that you don't necessarily want when it comes to gaming. So with these, you get a subtle bass response, and the mids and the treble are still decently there, right? Which is really good, again, for gaming, meaning those cues and those lower regions and stuff, you can still hear them, which is important for certain aspects and certain audio tracks and mix in the game. We know that with explosions, with footsteps and things like that, sometimes these regions are still needed, but not to this overwhelming, exaggerated amount that really takes away from the game. So I think the way they did the bass here is acceptable. Again, it's fun, it's thumpy, but not too overwhelming. Now the mids in my opinion are a bit recessed. There's some contrast, some color, but I think this region specifically is a bit tamed. You can hear separation, different audio cues, such as enemy footsteps, grenades, reloads, doors, teammates nearby, and when you use equipment. I think in this region with these IEMs, they're cutting a lot of the fat. So you're really just getting what it is that you need, what you need to hear. And I don't think that's a bad thing. All right. Sometimes there can be so much of an emphasis in this area, and it could be imploded with just unnecessary audio. And I think here, nicely done. Again, nice little balance. The treble kind of follows the same route where it's forward, but it's balanced. It's not too crazy. It's not too in your face. There's detail. I will say at higher volumes, it could be a little bit punchier, but nothing disturbing. And I'm somebody who's very treble sensitive, and I did not have a problem with these, which was good. So it doesn't bleed into other region. It's not, cutting into your ears. It's really well done. All right. So I think balance all around, nothing too crazy jumping out at you, but not recessed. So really good balance amongst all three of these regions, which is very surprising. Now let's talk about the 4 EQ configurations that you get with the KZ Gale. Now, first you have the music balance mode, which is specifically tuned for music. You get a nice little balance across all the regions, bass, mids, and treble. Really cool for listening music purposes. The bass boost mode, there's more emphasis on that bass region. So I know earlier I said, hey, you bass fiends, I think this might tickle your ear a little bit. I don't know. You know what I mean? And then we got the standard gaming mode. I think that's great for first person shooters to hear gunshot, different audio cues to locate enemies and more details. And then you have the immersive gaming mode, which is great for immersive experience, cinematic, greedy, environmental audio cues, and more of a lively audio experience. Now, I personally found the standard gaming mode to suit my needs and my type of audio profile when it comes to first person shooters, but this is something that you can play around with, right? You have all of these different settings that you can go around and test on your own. All right, but you do have those specifically set there for those games and those game modes, which is great because you don't have to look too deep into any of that. It's already configured. Follow the onboard little button here and you're chilling. All right, build quality and comfort. Now, as you can see, these are all white. They're plastic molds, small bore. They have like these white frost tips. Same thing with the IEM cable, is like this white frost type of look to it. These little aesthetics is like it's metal, but it's not. It's actually plastic. But I think, aesthetically, there's people that this is definitely gonna call her name, and if that's you, hey, I'm all about it. You know what I mean? The cable's cool, nothing really to go crazy about. Comfortable, doesn't really mess with my ears. There is no chin strap, so you kind of just set here like that, which in my opinion is fine. You're gaming, you're not really thinking too much about it. They all sit comfortable, so that's good. At this price point, this is a budget IEM, ladies and gentlemen. Not much I can critique. It is what it is. We're here, but again, all these add-ons, DSP, I think it's a great start point. Overall, I think this is a great IEM. The KZ Gale gives you options as a gamer who may be looking for something budget friendly, who doesn't want to break the bank. You got an inline mic, DSP DAC amp, 4 different EQ profiles ready to go, plug and play, hassle free, desktop, laptop, consoles, handheld gaming consoles, iPhone, Android, your Nintendo Switch 2 that you just bought. You can use this IEM there, different applications, and I definitely think, again, it's a good budget entry point for those who may be new to the gaming IEM space or are looking for a USB-C IEM. This is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. If you want to buy this product, the links will be down below. There should be a coupon code as well. Please let me know if these links work or not. I want to make sure that this gets out to you guys. All this will be going to KZ. I just want to be transparent about that. Shout outs to KZ again for sending these out for review, and most importantly to you for watching this video all the way through and supporting me, because if it weren't for you, we wouldn't be getting these opportunities. So much love to you, and I'll see you soon. Peace.